as well. But we're really going to be in a good spot, so you can see we're taking out this elite in a solid 4 seconds. How was that? Another 4-second kill. How was that? Good morning, good evening, and of course, good afternoon. Today we're going to be showcasing not only one of the most powerful, but one of my personal most favorite builds in Brotato, the Soldier Shotgun, an absolute elite and boss steamroller. If that doesn't get you excited enough, then how about the fact we play a potato that looks just like Cyclops from X-Men as we roleplay all our Scott Summers fantasies. However, instead of shooting lasers from our eyes, we shoot awesome shotgun shells from our weapons or something like that. Early on, do not hit a touch of harvesting, as well as an SMG, and we'll take our free reroll. We'll go ahead and do that last reroll as we are guaranteed a weapon on the very first 3 shops. Now, Soldier is a really powerful character, getting 50% increased damage, as well as 50% increased attack speed. However, they get the notable disadvantage of not being able to attack while moving, which is obviously a significant departure from how other characters work. They also get a relatively surprisingly good 15 additional knockback, as well as 300% increased pickup range, which is, again, pretty good. We'll go ahead and grab some of these SMGs. Don't really love the pistol there, as we're going to try to get our weapons built out first. Now, I think the shotgun is ludicrously strong on this character, as it ties in really, really well with Soldier's mechanics, and it scales super well. So I'm excited to show that off here today, and just how effective this bonkers busted build can end up being. So it's gonna be a lot of fun here, and we're going to talk all about shotguns, mechanics, and why they work so well with Soldier at, of course, the appropriate time. As we'll wrap up wave 3 here without any issues at all, yet unable to kill the looter. Womp womp. Looking for something a little bit better, like range damage, as well as harvesting, which are 2 stats I do like somewhat prioritizing on this character. Love a coupon early, and don't need any of these, so we'll go ahead and move on to wave 4. Now, other people or other guys you've seen about Soldier will probably tell you something like you really need to focus on speed, a little bit of defense, so you can stutter step effectively around the bosses and elites, and that's how you take them out. And like, that's not wrong. That is an effective way to play this character. However, how I prefer to play this character is with such insane, overwhelming offense that we kill everything so quickly we don't really need to bother stutter stepping, as what do you have to dodge if everything is in fact dead? And that's the type of build we're going to be doing here today, as we turn this Soldier into an overwhelming juggernaut of offensive power. Wave 4, no problem. Don't mind. Again, I don't necessarily, think you need to go into harvesting on this character before offered a little bit early. I will not turn that harvesting down. So while we will be focusing on shotguns, we're not going to take like efficient we're not going to pass up other efficient weapon upgrades. So getting a couple SMGs there, we will take those, at least for now. Maybe we'll keep them, maybe not, as I do really want to make this about the shotgun, because it's got some mechanics that I do think are really, really powerful. Notably, shotguns hit 4 times up until legendary, where they hit 6 times, allowing you to get 4 to 6 times your range scaling. These make these weapons really, really effective at the end of the game, as they work very, very well with range damage, as well as percent damage and attack speed that the Soldier gets naturally, which I think makes them a very potent weapon, especially for taking out enemies with a lot of health. Definitely I'm not going to turn down 2 range damage, which I am quite see, and again, we're going to go ahead and keep stacking that ranged damage. Really like a mutation for the same reason. We'll grab a bag for a touch of economy. Really like that we have a couple of coupons there as I look for some more shotguns, but I'm not turning down a lens as we go ahead and move here into wave 6 with 6 ranged damage. So feeling pretty good about how this is. That said, would like a little bit of a better shotgun. The shotguns are an interesting weapon, and the fact that I think they're actually somewhat weak early on in the game, although they do become significantly better as the game progresses, primarily on the back of how well they scale. Again, shotguns get multiple points of scaling off every single point of range damage, making them really, really strong boss killers. I think Soldier is actually a relatively powerful character for the first 7 or 8 waves or so, before experiencing a bit of a power trough. I'd say like waves like 10 through 14. So the nice thing is Soldier being really strong at the beginning sort of offsets the fact that shotguns are a little weak at the beginning, even though, again, they're really, really powerful weapons a little bit later in the game. Don't really love Duncan or Crit, and I don't really care a whole lot about that, but for the rest, with all the stats being free, I am quite happy with a free medal. I love a lens, love a gentle alien. I also do like a Cyclops worm, as I want more enemies on the map here. And don't mind a ritual, because I do think percent damage is relatively strong. So really happy to see that gentle alien, as I do want to get as many enemies on the map as possible in order to scale as hard as possible, as I think a well-built soldier can handle essentially all the gentle aliens as well as mice that we do in fact throw it. That said, not super worried here at wave 7, even with the eggs going, because I do think, you know, even if you let an egg spawn into a slasher, soldier ends up doing so much damage early on that they can just take out the slasher without really being super worried about it. So we will do our best to hunt them down. However, if a slasher or two does in fact spawn, you know, it's really not the end of the world. Again, with shotguns being strong weapons, just in taking out high health enemies with all their different attacks. So you can see a couple slashers there. Ain't really no thing we were really worried about. So feeling pretty good as we go through a soldier run here. No, do not want to shrink our health there. So really happy with that attack speed. Again, things like fertilizer, since we're not going into range, or sorry, we're not going into melee, I think are pretty good here. I love a tentacle as well as another shotgun upgrade, and really do like that shotgun upgrade. We'll go ahead and grab a peacock, which I think is an okay item. You know, I actually have come around to peacock. It's a little bit better than when I first sort of evaluated it, but I have come around to it. You know, it only gives you about 2 additional levels over the course of the game. However, where it is pretty good is it gives you those upgrades now, meaning that if we take a peacock, you know, before wave like 14 or so, it usually gives us 3 to 4 upgrades per wave. And it's not that we're getting more upgrades, it's that we're getting those upgrades now, which will help us scale faster, help us snowball harder by getting those upgrades sooner. So this allows us to sort of help in hitting a power curve a little bit sooner than if we didn't take it. So we will get, you know, this isn't a super dense enemy wave, you know, like Peacock's super good going into wave 9, but, you know, definitely not a bad thing as we picked up 2 additional levels. And I doubt we'll get to 3, but we'll get pretty close to 3 here from that XP bonus. And again, that's 2 levels we're getting now as opposed to later, which will help us scale just a little faster. So not necessarily bad things. We walk away with 3 levels. For free, do not mind a box glove. Do not mind ramping up our attack speed, our range damage, as well as our attack speed again. So really happy here to see another shotgun, as we can go and start getting those upgraded. And we'll go ahead and keep buying shotguns and I really do like a hunting trophy, which again, we only have 4 crit, so that's not necessarily amazing yet, but I do think hunting trophy can be quite good on this character. It works really well with shotguns, even if, like, you know, I'm not necessarily going out of my way to go crit on this character like I would with like loud thief daggers. So that'll certainly help us scale even if we are behind on crit. So definitely will make crit a priority. I also think crit is a general rule just as good in taking out bosses and elites, you know, with good efficiency. And any weapon has a 2 times crit modifier, which of course the shotgun as well as the SMG does have. Other weapons I'm potentially looking for to accompany our shotguns are things like obliterators, or maybe even a super upgraded laser gun, which just are effective weapons in taking out elites as well as bosses. So if we're really trying to take those out, you know, I'm happy to keep my eye out for those weapons as well. You know, we do enough damage where I'm not like super upset if we don't find something like a baby with a beard or a bandana. Although obviously if we are able to find those, you know, I'm not going to be upset about them because they are such powerful items. Sort of torn between attack speed and range, but I do really like range, and I really like that crit with this hunting trophy we're now going to be taking. We deal enough damage where I don't really think we need the lumberjack shirt, and I actually do kind of like statue on this character. I don't think it's like absolutely amazing, but you know, you end up standing still enough where I do think that 30% attack speed is in fact worth it. Now, part of the reason I'm doing a soldier build is one, just to help folks know how to play soldier, but also because I've seen some other soldier runs and I haven't really seen anything that like shows the true power of the shotgun soldier character. It's a ludicrously strong build, and I'm sort of excited to show like how powerful this build can in fact get by being able to just take out like both like if we don't kill both bosses within 10 seconds, I consider this a failure of a run. We need to kill them both in like 6 or 7 seconds. Because again, we can deal so much damage with these shotguns, especially when we start getting these shotguns to legendary, as I do think shotguns are one of the most efficient purple to red upgrades in the entire game. We'll talk about that a little bit more when the appropriate time comes, which is not now. Right now, we're just dodging around, sticking with our X-Men theme, kind of like Quicksilver, I think. It's been a while since I've seen the movies. We're kind of like Quicksilver, like dodging around, dealing so much damage that nothing can hurt us. At least, not yet. Really love that 3 range damage, as I do think that is quite nice. And then we'll go ahead and exchange SMGs. We're really getting SMGs. Why can't these be shotguns? I do not know. But you not always get what you want here. I do like a lost duck for a touch of luck, and we'll go ahead and grab some more luck there, as I think we're in a good spot to sort of handle our wave 12 elite. Although I do hope we were able to get at least one legendary shotgun by the time we run to that wave 12 elite. So feeling really, really strong here as our build sort of starts to come together with a relatively good 16 range damage, as well as a couple other items. You know, getting up to 20% crit, we're going to start getting some good value out of that hunting trophy, which we did pick up early enough, I think, to have some luck with, even if we don't really have a whole lot of crit support for it yet. I think we'll be able to put that together and get, maybe 500-600 materials out of that hunting trophy by the end of the run, or at least that is the hope. In the meantime, may want to get our, again, while I don't necessarily go out of my way to get my speed super high on this character, I do want to be at higher than -1 on Soldier. Obviously, that statue really slowing us down, but I do think, that 30% attack speed, which is just a huge chunk, has enough value where it's worth considering it. You can see with the knockback innate in the character, as well as the boxing doing a really good job at keeping these pursuers sort of at bay. For sure, for a free head injury, don't hate it, and also really do like that range damage. Like another mutation as well. Again, really want to prioritize range damage. We're really getting tossed SMGs, but I will take the sunglasses, as I do want to showcase shotguns here. So we're going to show why going to a red shotgun is so good. You see our shotguns here hit 4 times with a 90% scaling and a piercing of 2. When we get these shotguns to red, they now hit 6 times with a piercing of 3 and 1-to-1 range scaling. That really just makes those shotguns so strong as scaling weapons. So that really is a powerful upgrade. You can see, well, our character is just barely coming together, able to kill that elite out in 5 seconds. And we're just really putting this character together. We got a long way to go, I assure you. In addition, we only have 1 red shotgun, which will really help us deal more and more damage. So really showing what we have in store here as we absolutely demolish that wave 12 elite without any issues whatsoever. So again, feeling pretty good about how this one is coming out. So we'll go ahead and keep building, making the right decisions, and of course, talking about the mechanics so we can see how this character develops, although I assure you, a powerful character it will in fact be. Really would like something like an anvil, simply because this character can have, tough rolls and not get a lot of legendary shotguns, which I really do think help the character go to the next level. So, something like an anvil that can make it more consistent for us to get those shotguns, I do think is relatively strong. So we'll be keeping our eye out for that for sure. But wrapping up wave 12 here without any issues, as we absolutely dumpstered that elite. I don't really hate losing armor or max HP, but that's enough speed where I do think it's worth it. No gambling token. Looking for a bit of a better upgrade here, and I do like crit chance as well as a coupon. We'll go ahead and grab a touch of health. Not really doing the alienized thing this run, so we'll pass that. Don't really need any of these. Wrong legendary weapon. I do like a poisonous tonic, giving us some more crit as well, and I will take a touch of armor. With 9 speed, we'll go ahead and take the scope, power generator, and fertilizer, all of which I think will be good, as we, will be allowed to, or be able to convert speed to percent damage with that power generator, which I do think has some value because percent damage is really, really strong in this character. I do feel a little bit behind on it at the moment. That said, fortunately, I do have positive lifesteal, which should allow us to get back up to full health, as we'll go ahead and sort of, I think, make it through wave 13. Okay, although we do want to be somewhat cautious about about our speed here. So with the projectiles, making it probably just a little bit hard for us to dodge, but crits all the way up to 46, so we will start getting some good value from the hunting trophy. I normally think about 50 crit is when like 1 hunting trophy becomes relatively good, unlike a non-thief dagger character is obviously not obviously, as I didn't know this for that long, but thief daggers do get, as well as regular daggers, get a pretty good innate crit, which is just not present on other weapons. So that does make it takes just a little more work to get rolling with guns. Don't really need a bean teacher. Looking for something like crit, which I think will be good. Really like a scope, power generator, as well as a fertilizer. All really good things here. I actually do like a triangle of power, simply because we feel pretty behind on percent damage, and we're going to be getting hit less than 10 times a wave. So we'll go ahead and sail through this here. Wave 14 before fighting our next elite on wave 15. Again, really just hoping to get some more of these shotguns upgraded, as it has been a couple of waves since we've seen one. But again, it can't all be good. Now, I do think Triangle Power is a relatively mid item. I don't think it's necessarily great. However, I think Soldier is really, really hungry for % damage. And because we're able to kill everything so effectively and so efficiently, you know, I do think it's worth taking, as the chances of us getting hit more than 10 times a wave are pretty darn low, since we're sort of demolished everything so efficiently. So I will be happy to take that Triangle Power, getting us a pretty impressive 20% damage, you know, as a sort of comparison. Glass Cannon gives us 25% damage, but has, I think, a worse penalty with -3 armor, at least for this type of build. Obviously, it depends. So you can see we got hit once there, right? Still a net 18% positive damage. And obviously, when it comes to the elites and bosses, we're going to take them out so quick. They're not going to have time to hit us 10 times. So we'll be quite good there. Love that 3 range damage, although some of the other buffs are quite good. Really do like a Poisonous Tonic, as well as a small magazine. Finally starting to see some more shotguns, which I do think is quite good. We'll go ahead and grab a Fin, simply because we do have that power generator. So we are going to elite on wave 15, feeling feeling okay. I don't say we're feeling amazing, but you can see, despite we're kind of still piecing this together, another 4-second kill. How is that? Do want to play a little bit cautiously, as we are very much a glass cannon, which is okay, I assure you. But you can see taking out that butcher there without really any issues at all. So feeling nice and powerful, as that elite really showed us no threat. So absolutely just dumpstered that. Obviously, we can get something like a giant belt. It'll make our kill speed even quicker. So we will keep our eyes out for things that help us in that nature, as you shall excuse me, as it is morning for me, as I record these first things in the morning and take a nice sip of delicious, delicious coffee. Doing my best to do so without giving everybody the ASMR experience. So we're starting to notice that hunting trophy really come into sort of effect here, is we're getting 600 materials this wave, which I do think is above where we would normally be without it, but really happy with a couple crates here. Getting 5 crates. You know what? Sure, we'll take a lucky coin. Happy with the free spice sauce. Love a lens. I mean, we're at negative HP regen, so yeah, we're not taking Sat Tomato. We'll take another spicy sauce as well. Somewhat torn between range damage and crit. I will look for something that's a little bit better, like 2 range damage, which I'm much happier with. So love a Fin. Again, that speed is straight % damage. Also like a small magazine quite a bit. This will put us at -3 armor, but I do think another sunglasses is in fact worth it. Sure, we'll take a bag, although we're on the edge of it being good. Don't need any of these, and I will go ahead and take this legendary laser gun, which will be just an awesome boss killing weapon. And we will go ahead and toss a 1, maybe 2 rerolls, and do like a minigun as well, as I do think those weapons can be quite powerful in taking out bosses. But again, seeing a lot more good items already with our 66% crit chance, you know, which makes that lucky coin very, very effective. Although with -3 armor, I do want to be just a little bit cautious. Although I still feel pretty strong about where this is headed, is we're going to probably make some relatively contentious item upgrades after this wave. So we will see what everybody thinks about that. Going through wave 16, again, really starting to see this hunting trophy pile up. Already gotten 426 additional materials, you know, which is obviously not too shabby, as I run right into an enemy there. So we'll play a little bit cautiously in order to sort of not get too shot. And I may take a touch of armor as well, simply to make sure we're nice and safe. Although we really are going to be fine versus, I just want to make sure 1 boss hit doesn't kill me. If we can take 1 hit, I'm not super worried about things. As again, we're going to take those bosses out so quickly, it shan't matter at all. But yeah, wave 16, feeling good, feeling strong, and liking how this is going. No mammoth for us, sure, free recycling machine. I'll go ahead and keep getting that crit up. So we are actually going to go ahead and dunk a double barrel shotgun for a minigun, and we're actually going to dunk an SMG for a legendary laser gun, which is an absolutely insane boss killing weapon. You can see 429 damage with 600% range scaling, so I am quite happy with that. I don't really need any of these. Don't need any of these. You know, I do think there is enough time for me to get some value out of that magic leaf, as in we'll get waves. It's at the end of the wave, so we'll get wave 17, wave 18, and wave 19, which will give us 9 health as well as 3 lifesteal, which I think is probably worth it. So here on wave 17, it is time for our wave 17 segue, which is where we cover a topic somewhat but not entirely related to Brotato. And today we're going to be talking about the concept of a face cam. Obviously, this channel It uses a face cam. I thought I'd just talk a little bit my sort of decision-making process there. Now, not every channel has a face cam, and it certainly is not necessary for good content. When you make content yourself, you sort of do attempt to reflect a vision of what success for you would look like. I've been a big fan of Twitch as well as YouTube gaming content for over a decade, and I personally have always enjoyed camera that uses a face cam. It just gives my eyes something to look at, helps me understand the creator a little bit better as a person. So the main reason I use a face cam is simply because I personally like it. Now, does everybody love putting their face out on the internet like I do and getting themselves compared to all sorts of unfavorable celebrities? Well, I can't say that's necessarily my favorite thing, although I do find it somewhat amusing usually. I mainly do it because I think it helps add to the content and add a little something to the presentation. That's not to say it's the best or the other channels should do it. I just personally find some value in it, which is why I do it in an attempt to bring everybody some good content. So just thought we'd touch on that very briefly as we head into a Wave 18 Elite. Happy with the mouse, even with just a couple waves left, and really do like the shotgun, but not really seeing an upgrade that we can do there to make that efficiently. Don't want to lose even more armor. Somewhat tempted by a revolver. I do wonder if we're going to get enough value out of a second mouse, so we'll go ahead and pass on it there. Don't really need any of these. We don't need any of these as well, but we're really going to be in a good spot. So you can see we're taking out this Elite in a solid 4 seconds. How is that? Right? And we still are able to kind of put this together. Now, just quickly talking a little bit more about what some of these weapons are doing. Is the reason we end up going with the laser gun is, again, really powerful in taking out elites and bosses. Absolutely insane single target damage, as anybody who has played Jack knows. That said, I really do find the minigun to be ludicrously powerful against single targets as well. Obviously, minigun has a touch of piercing, which makes it a little more effective at clearing waves, but I really do like both the shotgun, or sorry, both the minigun as well as the laser gun is a good accompaniment to the shotguns, although I am holding out hope we can get a couple of these shotguns upgraded as we move here into the last 2 waves. Hopefully, with all this sort of money we're getting from our hunting trophy, we will be able to sort of reap what we sow there, but feeling pretty solid about where this is headed, as I do think we will do a very good job taking out the bosses without too much worry. You know, I don't know if this is necessarily worth it. It's only 20 attack speed, and I'm not really going to go heavy into dodge, so I will actually pass on the hoodie, even though that may seem somewhat blasphemous. Really do like that 20% attack speed, however. Finally getting another shotgun as well as a hammer there, which I think will be quite good. Don't need any of these. Somewhat tempted by the sniper gun, but I don't think it is quite good enough for where we are now. Really am looking for a better weapon. Somewhat tempted by the shredder. Really do like a community support. Another hunting trophy is probably a little too late to the party, so we'll go ahead and grab that community support and hopefully something or anything that helps us really upgrade these last couple of shotguns here. All right, as we move into Wave 19, my name is Sean. I run a channel here called Sean's Here, which is to play my name Sean, as well as the gaming term S tier. Been doing this for about 2 months and had a lot of success. So really appreciate all the love anybody has shown me. The first couple weeks I did this, you know, I was throwing videos out into the internet, getting about 30 to 80 views per video. My first maybe 8 or 9 videos or so, as well as I had about like 40 subscribers. Month 2, however, we've been absolutely off to the races as we added over 630 subscribers in the second month as this channel, going from about 40 subscribers to well over 700. So thank you everybody for the support. If you are watching this and have not subscribed and would consider doing so, that would mean a lot, as that is the main way I'm sort of attempting to grow the channel at the moment. So if I've made you laugh, hopefully not made you cry, but regardless if I've entertained you, if you could hit that subscribe button, I would be ever so grateful. That said, wrapping up here, Wave 18. Ooh, really took a sort of surprise bit of damage there. So we will want to be somewhat careful versus bosses. But I'm feeling pretty good about it. You know, extra stomach will be bonkers early, but at this point, it's not going to do anything with just the bosses. So we'll go ahead and just toss that here. As we'll go ahead, and I will actually take 4 armor just to get us down to 0, as much as it hurts my soul to pass up some other good items there. I'll go ahead and grab a silver bullet for bonus boss damage. I'm looking for another weapon here. Again, I think the legendary shotgun is so powerful. We'll go ahead and upgrade that double barrel shotgun, even if it's not necessarily the best upgrade. So feeling like a little bummed we're going in with a gray shotgun, but I do think the rest of our weapons will be powerful enough, as we have 36 range damage, 45% damage, which is 95, 105, 100 attack speed, plus the 50, as well as a silver bullet. So I do think we're going to be able to handle these elites very, very quickly. And again, a medium strength build. This is not a super powerful build, but you can see even with a mid build, 7-second double boss kill, just showing you the power that Soldier has, and that is a 7-second double boss kill with a gray shotgun. Obviously, the kill time with a giant belt, we could have easily gotten down to a 5-second double boss kill, but wow, look at that. How hard was that? How badly did we stomp that? Anyway, feeling really good about this. This was a really fun run. Hope you enjoyed watching, and as always, take care.